so here it says that the marginal cost, so that's my c prime of x, will be 11 over the square root of x. Now, this is a different question. It says find the cost when the first 81 units are produced. So remember that we are thinking about like a little function here, and if we start at 0 and go to 81, if we find that area under the curve, that's going to give us our total cost. So what we're going to do is we are not going to do the plus c that we did before. Here, because we're trying to find the total cost, we want a single number. And if we want a single number, we want a definite integral. So remember, the definite integral, when you have the bounds from a to b, that gives you a single number. If you have the indefinite integral, where there's no bounds, that's just going to give you a function plus c. So here we want total cost. We want an actual number, and so that tells us that we want the definite integral. So the way we're going to set up this definite integral is we're going to integrate our c prime of x function. And we're going to set up our bounds from 0 to 81. And those bounds are coming from, because we're going to integrate from the 0 to first item, then 1 to 2, 2 to 1, or 2 to 3, and so on. So this 0 to 81, those become our bounds, and then the total cost, that will come from integrating the derivative. Because remember, if you integrate the derivative, it crosses out and you're just left with that cost. All right, so here I'm going to be integrating from 0 to 81, this 11 over the square root of x dx, and we want to simplify that so that we can integrate it. So we have 11 over x to the 1/2, and then we're going to move that into the numerator. So that's going to be 0 to 81, and then 11x to the negative 1/2 dx. Now we are ready to actually integrate it. So now we're going to integrate from, add 1 to the exponent, so that 1 becomes a 2 over 2, and then divide by the new exponent. Now, because I have bounds, I don't write the plus c, I write the 0 to 81. And I do want to flip this fraction to begin with, so the 1/2 is going to be a 2 over 1, and then times 11, x to the 1/2, still have the bound from 0 to 81. So 2 times 11 gives us 22, x to the 1/2, and then 0 to 81. Okay, so what we did here is we want to find the total cost, so we're going to integrate the derivative. Those will cancel out and just give us the cost. And then we're going to use those bounds from 0 to 81. Now, we need to plug in upper minus lower. So we'll have 22, 81 raised to the 1/2 minus 22, 0 raised to the 1/2. So that will give us 22, and then square root of 81 will just be 9, so it will be 22 times 9. And then in this case, the second term just drops out. So 22 times 9 gives you 198, and that is your final answer.